It's Winnie's Day, and this is from Walt Disney's Winnie the Pooh storybook collection, Owl's Reading Lessons. Everyone knew that Owl was the best reader in the 100 Acre Wood. Whenever his friends wanted to hear a story, Owl selected a book to read aloud to them. One particularly fine spring day found him doing just that. And the goat became the best clockmaker in town and lived happily ever after, Owl read. The end. Owl closed the book. Read us another one, Owl, Roo begged. Please? Owl cleared his throat. Perhaps later, he said. I should rest my voice for a bit. My birthday is tomorrow, you see, and I suspect I may be called upon to make a speech for the occasion. He went to return the book to his library. Oh dear, said Piglet. I hope Owl doesn't mind reading to us so often. Piglet turned to look at Pooh, who hadn't said a word. What do you think, Pooh Bear? Pooh was thinking, an activity that didn't come easily for a bear of very little brain. But this time, Pooh's little brain had a big idea. Perhaps Owl would like it, Pooh said carefully, if we read to him once in a while. Perhaps on his birthday. The friends were too excited to wait for Owl's return, so they hurried over and knocked on his door. Owl, may I borrow a book? Pooh asked politely when Owl answered the door. May you what a who? Owl said in surprise. Borrow a book, Pooh repeated, if you happen to have one to spare. Owl couldn't remember the last time one of his friends had asked to borrow a book. In fact, he was fairly certain that none of his friends had ever asked to borrow a book. Of course, he said. Which book would you like? I'm not sure, Pooh admitted. I thought I'd just try a little reading. Me too, Piglet added. And us too, said Tigger, Rabbit, and Roo. Eeyore sighed. I suppose I'll give it a try. So Owl helped each of his friends select books. For Pooh, he found a book all about how bees make honey. For Roo, there is an exciting storybook with lots of pictures. Hooray! Roo cheered. Rabbit spotted a big book about vegetables. This one looks interesting, he said. Here's one for you, Tigger, Owl said. There's not much bouncing in it, but I think you'll like it nonetheless. Don't worry, Eeyore, I haven't forgotten you, Owl said. It's all right. I'm not very memorable, Eeyore said. Owl pulled out a book filled with cheerful pictures of rainbows and blue skies. This book is sure to make you feel jolly, he told Eeyore. Soon, Pooh had settled down at his thoughtful spot for a good read. He opened his book to the first page. It had several rather long and alarming-looking words on it, along with a picture of a beehive full of delicious-looking honey. Pooh's tummy let out a rumble. Well, no sense trying to read on an empty stomach, he said. Tucking his book under one arm, Pooh set off for home. All around the wood, the others were working on their reading too. Tigger read the entire first letter of his book. Then he decided to celebrate by bouncing for a while. Rabbit enjoyed his book about vegetables very much. "That reminds me," he muttered as he came upon a picture of a rutabaga. "I've been meaning to reorganize my larder all week. No time like the present." The next morning, Pooh awoke thinking of honey. He used a book to reach a honey pot on his top shelf. "Oh, bother," he said, looking at the book. "I forgot to learn to read." At that very moment, Tigger was realizing the same thing. "I guess reading not what Tiggers do best after all," he said sadly. "Mama," Roo cried when he woke up, "I didn't learn Owl's story yet." Eeyore felt gloomy as usual when he opened his eyes. "Knew I forgot something important. Then again, I usually do." "Drat," Rabbit said when he noticed the book by his neatly organized larder. "Is Owl's birthday here already?" The friends all gathered at Owl's house. "Happy birthday, Owl," Pooh said sadly. "We're sorry." "Yes, terribly sorry," Rabbit added. "Whatever do you mean?" Owl asked. "Sorry for what?" Pooh held up his book. "Each of us wanted to read you a story for your birthday," he explained. "But we couldn't figure out all the words," Tigger added. Roo nodded. "There are an awful lot of words." "Sorry, Owl," Piglet finished. "Are you terribly disappointed, Owl?" Pooh asked. To everyone's surprise, Owl smiled. He'd been afraid his friends had grown tired of listening to him read, but they were just trying to do something thoughtful. "I'm not disappointed," he said. "It's the thought that counts." Piglet still looked worried. "But if there's to be any reading today, you'll have to do it yourself," he pointed out. "Then it's a good thing I saved my voice yesterday, eh?" Owl said happily. "Because it seems I have a good bit of reading to do today. Now, where shall we start?" "Happy birthday, Owl!" Roo cheered. "Read mine first." Owl took Roo's book. Then he cleared his throat and began. "Once upon a time, there lived a brave and noble knight." Owl read that book and all the others aloud to his friends. And in the end, everyone decided it had been one of the best and most educational birthdays any of them could ever remember.